Hello, everybody, and welcome. Uh, Welcome to another episode of The Twilight Zone. No, I'm sorry, wrong show. Coming into being. Sorry. Twilight Zone was a good show. Anyways, just typing in my little welcome here. And if you're stopping in, just say hi in the chat, just because it's more fun. Oh, now I'm showing up as host. Sometimes it shows me up as something different. Anyways, hey, Diana, nice to see you. We'll get started in a minute. Okay, there we go. So, there was a big solar flare apparently that went through. So solar flares are really interesting. These electromagnetic waves that go right through us and can really throw everything off. If you're interested in that kind of stuff or the cosmic weather, there is a website called suspiciousobservers.org. This guy is really interesting. He's been tracking the cosmic weather. So looking at, hi Elizabeth, looking at especially the sun. He gets into what's going on with the sun, the activities of the sun, and then just tracking information. He's been doing this for a long time, but just to build up that that data to see what kind of correlation there is between what happens on Earth and what's happening on the sun. He's there's been a lot of interesting there's been a lot of interesting stuff. So coming up with the correlation there. I mean, he's not predicting, but he does get into, okay, we've got this going on here. That could mean, volcanic activity, whatever, earthquake activity in these areas. And he did say that to the effect of that right before the big earthquake hit Nepal. He said, well, it looks like we would have a pretty big earthquake in this area. And sure enough, it happened. So suspiciousobservers.org, really interesting stuff. I think it's .org, not .com. But anyways, so welcome. And hi, Laria. Good to see the crew here. So today, let me just read my little disclaimer for case we get into any analysis. Today is March 23rd, 2022. My name is Marianne Carduner with unboundandandfree.com. I'm not a medical doctor or therapist. I don't diagnose, prescribe, or heal. I scan your frequency and energy patterning and tell you what I see. Please consult a doctor or therapist for professional advice, and all content is copyright protected, and you may not use our content in any way, shape, or form without my written permission. So today, let's just kind of take a deep breath, let yourself settle in for a minute. Let's all kind of go into, I think we're going to at least start off with just doing a little meditation, and of course I'll work on people when we meditate, but let's just get into that deeper state and really coming into that state of being. So let yourself just relax, feel your muscles, your physical body just relaxing. As you relax, everything just kind of starts to come down. If we've been running around, even if we've been thinking a lot, working on the computer, even reading, we tend to be up here a lot. So letting yourself relax and come down. A lot of stiffness, a lot of rigidity in people's systems. And the word system, by the word system, I mean every aspect of you from spirit, energetic, human level. Yeah, let's just, maybe it's the day, maybe it's all that run around, it's the end of the day or whatever for you. But hey, Kayla, good to see you. And as you relax, let yourself notice how you are connected to the earth. You know, we forget about that connection. We get pulled up here so we don't really notice it. And just let yourself feel that connection to the planet you live on, to the earth, and how solid we are on that. And how stable we are, regardless of how fast the earth is spinning on its axis in the galaxy around the sun. That really holds us in place. That's, you know, and when you think about it, the earth, how fast it spins, I don't know what the rate is, but it's exceedingly fast. And how stable that is nonetheless for us, for our beings. Oh, there we go. That's releasing a lot of distorted stuff for people, distorted frequencies and energies. So that's good. Starting to open that up. A lot of tiredness is coming through. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. Hola, 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 amiga. Yeah, yeah, a lot of tiredness is the best way to describe that. You know, we run around a lot, and we do our best in that running around to like take care of ourselves, but then it's just that we get caught up with things. We kind of lose our center, our centeredness. We lose our really being present with ourselves in the moment, even if it's for a flash of a moment. You know, that's enough to just tweak us a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to take a moment to go silent. So just keep focusing on your breath and coming into your body more, letting yourself relax into your body more, into your space. Just kind of amplifying that space for everyone here. That space of purity. Kind of just to wash us all out of what we don't need to have with us. And opening up that space where we can just really relax into just that state of being more strongly, more deeply, It's kind of like stepping into the bathtub. Nice, nice bubble bath, whatever. Nice whirlpool, hot tub, where you can just let yourself relax. Let all the dust and the grime and the tension melt away. And taking a moment to help everybody just align more deeply, more precisely. There's a word, more precisely. It might kind of feel like you're getting compacted because it's like molding you in. Or densifying. Yeah. Getting everybody also clearing out what's impeding you from coming into that deeper alignment. Deeper alignment, deeper centering, deeper grounding, they kind of all come together. They kind of all really overlap, kind of different angles to the same thing. Yeah, now everybody's starting to really light up. It's like this radiance coming from everybody now. Very nice. Commend yourself for being here, for taking the time to do this, for all the work you've done to get up to here, to be here, and actually step into that brilliance. So yeah, I'm kind of helping you and guiding you and holding the space for you, but you're also doing it. So that brilliance is, I commend you for that, because you're holding strong. So when we've been doing this kind of work for a while, it seems like real obvious in a way, or it's like, well, duh, it's like kind of obvious in that way, like it, everybody, it's kind of this assumption. It's like, well, gosh, this is kind of the natural way of being, but we're only about 10-20% of the global population. I don't know, just randomly assigning a percentage, but it's not a very big number percent compared to the whole global population. And a lot of people many people are not there yet. And even when they've been kind of more on the helping others path, I'm going to leave it at that, doing their work to get there. There's a way that people stay at a certain level and cannot expand beyond a certain level. So there's that determination in everyone here to hold on to what you have, and to hold on to your brilliance, to what you have. So good job. And thank you, because that is part of what is helping us doing this. It is supporting everyone globally, the at a universal level also. Even if it's just a drop in the bucket, hey, you're putting that drop in the bucket for this massive awakening and stepping into this new paradigm and ending what is no longer functional for us for existence, humanity and existence to function in anymore. There's still a lot of people that are trying to hold on to the old way. And a lot of that is just because that's all they know. They don't know anything else. So it takes a lot to be part of that 20%. There's a lot of pressure to step away from that. So again, good job. Take a deep breath in, hold it. Yeah, very good. See, it doesn't take very long to give ourselves that space to really come into better, stable, stronger, more centered place. Just comment in on how you feel now. A lot more solid, but that doesn't feel quite right. But there's a lot more fullness, wholeness. And in that wholeness, there's that stability of being. Let yourself just notice where you're at right now, how this feels. Doing this kind of noticing helps to anchor it in for yourself. It helps to really build up that state for yourself, making it easier to come back to. So the more time we can spend on it right now, the easier it is beyond that. And notice if there's anything that tries to pull you out of that, little distractions in your environment. The kids, the neighbors, the street noise, whatever. The dog, the cat, whatever. If it's a sound, just notice that sound, but let yourself stay in this space. It's like there's a density, but not a heaviness. So density, like the air, when the air is humid, there's a density that you can feel in the air. The air feels denser when it's humid. You feel that weight of the water. So for me at least, there's a similar feeling. So, comment in on what you're noticing for yourself in your space. Let yourself feel it. Feel it from the top of your head. Sometimes we have a tendency to be like kind of biased and often in our heads, but so notice it, come down to your feet, come down into your legs, and notice that feeling, that being present in your legs and feeling that same kind of, I'm going to just use the word density, that if there's a better word for what you're feeling for yourself, that's fine, but kind of this density, feel it down. So if you feel it more up top half, feel into the other end, that where you're don't usually go. Let yourself bring it down. Part of the reason for doing that is because your brain registers that information. And so, what can happen is that when our brain is stuck in seeing, um, of having that a specific information to, let's say, your arm, and if you felt like this weight on your arm, and even if after you move it off, that's still registering your brain because there's that pattern of information that's of sending out that information that's still there. So by doing that, it's like, okay, no, oh, this is where it's kind of like updating the brain files. So it's like, okay, this is where we're at now. So letting yourself feel into that part of the body where you don't go to very often or at all. It could be the midsection too. That's a good one. The gut carries a lot of emotional stuff. A lot of emotional stuff. It's kind of considered, it's kind of like the emotional brain in some way, but it is a different quote unquote brain where information comes in and is registered and is processed in the whole gut area, intestinal area. Sometimes our backs don't get a lot of attention because it's like we're looking forward. And so bringing your awareness to your back, feeling that presence on your backside. You can be aware of the clothes against your skin, or even what you're sitting on. So the chair, that maybe your couch that you're leaning back on. And extend you feel that your awareness is on the tactile feeling, your skin, whatever's touching your skin or whatever's pressing against your back, and your awareness, peripheral awareness. So you becoming aware of what's behind you, kind of feeling what's behind you. So both of those at the same time. Yeah. And that starts to kind of help make that 360 degrees for yourself. So top of head, you can go top of head. Uh, Below the feet also, that's an area that doesn't get explored. So if you put your feet on the floor, notice your feet, what your feet are touching, your skin of your feet. So it could be your socks, your shoes, the floor, and the carpet, whatever. Feel that, and then kind of like feel down. So it might feel a little harder to do because there's something more solid than, next to the shoulder. It's kind of this space, so it's easier. Might feel easier, and then you've got this solid thing. There's an overlap. So there's the solid floor, whatever the floor is made out, cement, wood, whatever. There's that, but then there's this other layer, non-physical layer that's enmeshed in that overlaps there. And feeling that, yeah. Try it with your eyes open, try it with your eyes closed. Do both, because the information, it the information you get will be different. You'll get the same information, but then you'll get added different information, whether your eyes are closed or whether they're open. Sometimes it's better for people to do it with their eyes open, because as soon as they close their eyes, they're off in another reality. So if that's your tendency, do it with your eyes open. If your eyes are open, you can kind of like have a soft focus on a particular thing. Um, you know, just your eyes might also might kind of move around a little bit sometimes, but sometimes it's just kind of like, you know, it could be down, you could be looking up, whatever, doesn't matter. But it's more bringing your awareness to the again, the physical sensations, but also extending out with that peripheral awareness from the body. Yeah, feel yourself. It's like you can kind of extend that out, arm's length out in all directions. Feeling that. Send in your comments. How are you noticing that, guys? What are you noticing for yourself as you do this? As as we we walk through this. Or you've all fallen asleep on me. Got so relaxed, just zoned out. That's nice too sometimes. No comments, no nothing, no experiences. Very relaxing. Yeah, and can you kind of give some adjectives, describe a little bit about how you feel that space around you? What is does it feel dense? Does it feel bright? Does it feel light? I mean, all of those are correct, you know, all those are fine because that's how the information is registering for you. How far do you feel you can reach out? Is it kind of maybe arm's length, which is fine, or a little further? Fullness. Yeah, nice. And then we can take these words, you know, like relaxing. Okay, relaxing, fullness. It's like, well, okay, let's describe that more precisely. Brilliant and colorful. Ooh, wow. And colorful. Are you seeing specific colors? So just asking more question because that starts to help you notice more, be more connected with what you're feeling, be more present. Yellow, orange. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. Sometimes colors connect up to the colors that people associate with the chakras. And just a little side note for you guys, the colors that people see in the chakras that are associated with chakras are only one level. It's not all the way through. The chakras don't carry, they're energetic structures that um, process energies in and out into the system and out. Um, and the colors are only a specific layer of that, like a smooth, shimmery liquid for the space around me. Ooh, wow, that's a neat description. I honestly lose my concentration when I open my eyes. Okay, so something to work on, you know. And what that's telling me is that I'll read your next comment up in a minute. What that means with that losing your concentration with your eyes open is that you get distracted or pulled in by the physical very easily. So something to practice on, because if you're losing your concentration in this space, you're losing it all the time in everyday life. That makes sense to you. I just came back from or easily, not easily, and yeah, probably all the time. But just came back from a Kundalini session. Do you see that I picked up some distortions from the location people? My sense, Ilaria, with what's going on for you is that that it's like, did it dissolve? It really softened your space, and it feels like you've lost your definition. So if that makes sense, and that's probably why you're seeing the orange. That makes sense that you're seeing orange and yellow with that from that. And that feels like that's the energetic colors that are associated with the chakras, being the second and the third chakra. Yeah, it feels more like the orange, the second chakra for you with this. Yellow is mental, or can be very mental. So it's like you don't have the definitions that you need to keep out people's stuff. Does that make sense, Ilaria? I'm having confrontations with Devin so that my feelings were very tired at the beginning. Once I got into the meditation with you, those feelings are gone. Yeah, because you're coming into yourself, basically. So so part of what's happening, so kind of we'll just call it training for you. You know, when we have these confrontations, you know, these little, not confrontations, it's too strong the word, but it's just like it's practice for us. So part of the thing is for you is what's my sense of what's hard for you, Anna, for staying centered in yourself is when there is kind of disagreement, and there's that opposition that comes into you. So being able to stay centered in yourself. So very centered now. Just Devin will be pushing me to lose it, and it's not easy to keep my space. Yeah. So it's showing you that, yeah, it's like you know, it's not easy for you to keep your space. So breathe into that. So come into yourself, and it's not about pushing back, you know, because what happens is we have a tendency to, it's like we feel that and we go boom, you know, kind of severely. But just kind of breathe into your space. So it's practice, you know. It's practice when we've had so much pushing against us to just be able to not push back, just kind of relax into where we are. And instead of pushing back, so let's do this, and everybody can work on this together. But so come into your center, Anna, and everybody else. Just come into yourself. And just bring up, let's see. Okay. Bring up, so all of you can do this, and just bring up something that kind of feels like it tends to push in on you a lot. Okay. So just stay centered, just breathe into being in yourself, not reaching out, not pushing back. Let it just kind of, and from your center, as that thing is trying, or, pushing into you to get a reaction, basically, get a pushback. Allow yourself to just kind of expand out and just kind of reclaim your space. So you're just not focused on pushing back, but on just filling up your space, taking up your space. Okay, does that make sense, Anna? Can you feel yourself, kind of do this in the process as we're doing it here, and let Devin be wherever he's at. So see if that makes sense, Anna. Okay. Also today at work, I was hearing lamenting as if it were kids crying. I feel the land on which the headquarters of the company is built is dark. It's not necessarily, kids slaughtered on it. Okay, we'll take a look at it. I'm imagining this, or do you see anything? Well, there's a lot of old history in that area, so I wouldn't necessarily call it dark, but I would call it that there's a lot of history there that wasn't cleared from the land. So let's see, let's just tune in a little deeper here with this. There's a lot of old history that's coming through, and of course, because so Anna, just practice a little bit while you're here and see how that feels, and then you can ask a question. It's like, well, am I doing this right? So practice now. I'll try to do this just like this. So practice now, just like what we did. Come into your center, let yourself, feel yourself across from Devin, and just breathe in, relax into your being, breathe in, and let yourself fill up your space. Practice that right now in the space. You can do it. So that will help you. Okay, Ilaria. Yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of old history there, and of course, what's happening is that the layers have thinned down. There's this overlap that's happening with all this history. Before, it used to be more separated out energetically, frequency-wise. There used to be more clearer divisions. Everything's kind of exploded into one space here, so that's coming through a lot more. So that's what I see going on. I don't call it dark. That's a very different thing. So it doesn't feel dark to me. It just feels like it's distorted. It's not. It's not what I would call dark. I mean, what I call dark is like, we're getting into voodoo, witchcraft, black magic, nasty stuff like that. Just for this context of I use the word dark in other but here with what we're talking about. Just that history, that and so that history and that hasn't, and those frequencies, those energies, those people that have not, that emotional stuff that has not released. That's why we've got a lot of stuff going. There was an interesting question last time that kind of ties in with that. Okay, I agree with your previous comments on the fact that I get absorbed by external reality and can't hold space. So practice by yourself of doing the stuff with your eyes open and really becoming more aware, holding that for yourself. Practice on your own, because just to reinforce that, I can hold my space okay with people while in nature, but otherwise I'm experiencing a lot of jaw tension and getting pulled into their space. Today's themes is perfect in line with helping with this. Yes. So, we've got, I think we're still in the purity wave right now. That's going through. It's not real big, this one, but it doesn't matter. It's bringing our little stuff up like that. I've been with people for long periods of time, and it has been a bit of a struggle. Yes, I meant distorted. Yeah, I just want to clarify because, and I was about to say the word dark, but when I read it, it was like dark. No, this isn't dark, evil, nasty stuff. This is just this remnants of that hasn't cleared up. So, yes. Um, yeah. So, Kayla. Yeah, and so that jaw tension is you're it's like pushing up from here, and you're probably my sense is that that stuff is going into your solar plexus. So one thing you can do just to help you reinforce being present in that area is put your hand on your solar plexus. When you're talking to people, and you can just casually be kind of like having your hands in front of your, that area, just to help you be more aware and present in that area. But that's like pushing up and just like pulling out. So yeah, very good. So Anna, are you working on that? Are you having a sense of how to do that for yourself? Part of what happens with that with people, is when they feel like they're pushing it on us. So there's a lot of times that's the only way that people have learned to connect is to, because that's how they were connected into. That's not the right way of doing it. The right way to connect is to just really be present with yourself and and expand from your center, not going like that energetically. Um, and a lot of times people do that because they learn that when you love somebody, that's when they've been supposedly loved by somebody, um, that's what's happened to them, so that's what it means to uh, love or like or be friends or whatever with somebody. So not taking it personally, but when you feel that happening, it's just relax into your being and expand out. Take up your space, arm's length around, and just like hold that. Um, my energy is pushing up, or their stuff is coming at my solar plexus, and it's pulling up. Like that. Uh, you're kind of it's kind of the same. It doesn't matter. It's what's happening is like people coming are trying to connect with you, and the way they're connecting, so that fits with what I just read of just kind of going for whatever reason. That's still a weak area for you, basically, and so you pull away from that instead of coming into it more. So that's the tension of the jaw. So it's like pushing up on your jaw. Um, so Elizabeth, yeah, I can do it. Okay, so I guess you've been practicing. Okay, Mary, could you give me just a quick scan today? Just a quick scan. You're great. There you go. There's your quick scan. Okay, let's see. You tend to pull into your head more, and it's kind of in this very nice uh, dreamy. Dreamy's not the right word, but kind of that dreamy quality of connecting with the ethereal level of life, and in a good way. And I feel that with your music, how that really connects you with that. So bringing that down into your body, that kind of lightness of being. If that makes sense, Elizabeth, let me know. If not, I'll try to rephrase it better. But bringing that feeling down into your whole body. Um, and it you kind of do that already when you do your music, um, but it feels like what happens when you play music is it comes around you instead of coming in and through you. That just that kind of that inspirational feeling. Uh, and so moving it more into your body, oh, like a different state. Um, well, okay, I want to clarify that because a different state could mean like you're like out of your body. Possessed is a different state, So, um, but it's like you get like when you feel happy, you know, and so there's this ethereal kind of quality to that feeling, and it's part of that inspiration, connects up to that inspiration for that music, that expression, inspirational expression that comes through music for you, that comes through you, that I mean, brings you into that music and art, and that expression. Um, so I mean, being happy is a different state. So uh, it's not a different state in a sense that you get pulled out of your body and you're disconnected from your body, okay? It feels like, you know, it feels like more kind of, that's just a way that you experience life, okay? That let's put it that way. So that in that experience, bringing that into your body instead of just in your energetic field, because if it's around you, it's in your energetic field, but really kind of integrating it into your body more. Does that make sense, Elizabeth? Uh, Dancing Bloom. Okay, that makes sense. I think, yeah, good. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, and it's right. I mean, that's what's really showing up right now, and it's a nice quality. I mean, there's, it's like that's the thing that there's certain pieces of music that will make us feel other people that are listening to it feel that ethereal quality and take us into a different experience than where we are in the present moment. And that can be very inspirational. That can help people open up and heal and all sorts of things. So um, not a bad thing. Um, yeah. So Elizabeth, take a deep breath in and like pulling the breath from the top of your head kind of into your body. Yeah, and pull it all the way through your legs to your toes and see how that feels. And it's the same thing. It's like when we get really kind of in these expanded states, and all of a sudden we feel like, "Whoo, we feel great going out there." And it's good to actually sit, feel that expanded state, feel it, and actually pull it into us to really embody it more, kind of thing. Um, Anything else? Any other questions here? Good stuff, guys. So another thing, so Anna, and that's a little bit with Elizabeth, well, everybody here, but with your questions, different ways it came up. But I'm looking at Anna's comment, make me think that. So part of the place that we tend to go to when we feel that push is to get into this judgment about what's happening. And judgment is always associated with the how we judge something is always associated with something from the past, not from the moment. Um, so just so the more we can detach from that judgment and just like, oh, okay, I notice, I can feel that pushing into me. I don't like it. but and then that judgment goes into that person. Yeah, you know, and kind of disconnecting from that, because then it puts us in a place of not wanting to connect, not wanting to interact with that person, not wanting to hear them out, not wanting to, and sometimes we just breathe, relax, become more centered, and really come fully into ourselves. We might feel that solar plexus kind of getting funny, coming into that, breathing into that, the chest, whatever, and holding strong in that will help also the person shift, you know, getting out of those habits of that blame and attack and back and forth kind of thing. So work in progress, it's in the moment we're not always necessarily able to do that. If you realize afterwards, it's like, oh, I didn't do it quite the way I want to. Practice in your head. Just kind of go back over that scene that happened. It's like, okay, let me see yourself with that person, interacting with that person. You can kind of see them kind of pushing in, feel yourself kind of relaxing, opening up, and letting yourself be in that. And then, so replaying the scene. Perfect, Marianne. Thanks so much. Yeah, good. It feels somewhat airy or flexible somewhat. Yeah, okay. Did you pull that? Yeah, that's kind of what yeah. And did you pull that all the way through you? And then you can pull it through and then just bring it back out, your music also, so nice. Okay, very good, guys. Anything else? If not, we're just going to call it a day. Diana, I haven't heard any. I wonder if she's still on. You're real quiet today. So I hope you're doing well if you're still on. All right. Well, we'll call it a day then. I don't think so. There's a lot of distractions from me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So that's another little thing here. That's probably why it's floating more around your head right now than having it be into you. Oh, you're still, yeah, good. You were just so quiet in your corner. And so here's a question for you, Elizabeth, is to ask yourself if you feel safe bringing that through, feeling that with other people, around other people, and working with that, so that because that's just part of your experience in life, and so working with that, not separating it out only when I'm with safe people, only when there aren't distractions, kind of thing. This was nice and helpful. Yeah, good. All right, everybody. So good to see you guys. And next April, starting April, we're gonna. I need to move this up an hour earlier, so it's going to be at 3 p.m. starting April, and I will post that. And I think we've got one more this month for March, so I'll repeat that again. So good. Thanks for joining in, everybody, and see you in the ethers. See you if you're in my Ply group, which many of you are here. Thank you. I'll see you on Monday, and see you next week. So take care, everybody.